Now these days, you look at the building, the person who is having 40 years experience and the person who has the 4 months experience, they are putting the same jali in their reservation just by downloading from the Pinterest.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
individual recognition of architects is completely lost. Most of the time you will understand it is obvious during execution building changes are obvious.
Absolutely.
In that building only, I told my client 5 years before, I will change anything, but I will not change even by a millimeter in the elevation.
Okay.
Be careful. We object once, we object twice, we object thrice, and fourth time we say no, you go ahead, whatever you want
Do
to say.
what you want to do.
In one of the case, we objected once, twice and thrice. Fourth case we said you go, and then whatever was executed, the client he himself said, "Ki no, I made a mistake. Why didn't you say it fourth time also?" Soot, gunya, plumb are basic 3 tools to see the perfection of any construction. If you know how to use these 2 tools, you can do wonders.
Hi, I'm Leena Monga, Principal Designer at Agnom Designs, and I'm your host today for this amazing podcast called Water Innovations by Colston. Today, on our first episode, we have a very senior architect on board to share his wisdom with us, Mr. Sanjeev Goel from Konark. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking our time and sharing your wisdom today with us. It's an honor to have you. I want to understand, how did it all start? What drove you to architecture, and how did Konark come into existence?
Getting admission to architecture, it was just per chance. Obviously, as every student, everybody knew about engineering, IIT, Roorkee, and medical. My brother-in-law actually told me there is a college called SPA. अगर इंजीनियरिंग में ना हो तो वहाँ भी एडमिशन एक बार फॉर्म भर देना. And I was not expecting my admission in that college. I didn't even go to verify the result also. Just per chance I was selected, and that admission information they came to me through post, and I still remember on that day it was raining very heavily, and that letter was flowing outside my house in the rainwater.
Oh.
One of my neighbors said, "Ki this is your letter, just see what it is." Surprisingly, I opened the letter and it was my admission letter. That was the house. Surprising, I got admission. Anyhow, we got admission successfully. I completed my architecture in 5 years. As usual, normally. I was average student, not very brilliant, but not very bad also. As routine, I started my this job also in Connaught Place named B.M. Sharma Associate.
Okay.
I worked for 2 years. At that time, very interestingly, just immediately after that, 1986, I got married. I am from a Banya family. And in Banyas, if your son-in-law is in government job, it is appreciated like anything. But I was in a private job. My father-in-law told me, I'm in a private job, so you see, whatever that you want to take, decide. But in 1987, there were some government jobs in DDA. Out of in that, still I remember there are more than 150 applications.
Okay.
And only 3 vacancies was there. I was selected. My father-in-law and my wife, my father, they were
Very happy.
very happy. I joined there also. Interestingly, on the 4th day of my joining, I resigned from there.
Really? And why so?
I thought that this is not work environment, the way I wanted to work. I came home and I tell my wife, मैंने resign कर दिया. Say, क्या हो गया? I said, नहीं, मैंने नहीं करनी. And let me tell you, whatever the salary I was getting in private job, I was getting more than double in that government job. I could sense that I am not meant for it. I said, forget, I will not do this job. I started my practice in one shop from my residence as a consulting architect.
Okay.
In the first month, I could earn much more than what I was earning in my job.
In the DDA job or the private?
No, in the private job.
Oh.
The DDA job was only for 4 days.
Yes.
Interestingly, that gave me the confidence. And since that day, my earning is increasing day by day.
Amazing.
At that time only, we started by our practice, starting from the residency. And one of my friend also joined me, Mr. Dhar, and we started as a private practice. And even today, we are continuing it.
So you guys are still partners?
Still partners.
Okay. And you were telling me a story about Konark, and I also read about it. What is the story behind Konark? Why the name?
Oh, I wanted to put this name as a consulting architect, but my friends asked me, why don't you put architecture consultants? So Arcon or the Konark, then we finally decided, and it is also similar name, the Konark Temple.
Yeah,
so I said
exactly.
it is much more architectural word. So I started calling it Konark, consulting architects.
Very interesting, sir. Now, sir, you have been in the industry for more than 40 years now. And in these 40 years, the world has changed and India has changed many folds. How do you see the things becoming different now, whether it's the client profile, the client requirements, the design philosophies, or everything in total?
No doubt, as everything is changing, our profession is also changing, right from the client expectation, our design criterias, our design procedures, our design visualizations, etc. So many things. Everything is changing, and the changes is natural.
Yeah.
So, but I'll say कि as compared to the previously, we were definitely more dedicated previously. Because there were lesser informations available.
Yeah.
Now everything is available, all informations are available, every construction detail, and so many options are there. The client's expectations have also changed a lot. Initially it was just a house, now it is a luxury house.
Yes.
That was in those days we used to complete a house even in 90s more than 10-15 drawings, some basic architecture drawing, basic elevation structure drawing were sufficient. Now these days these days it requires at least more than 100 drawings to complete a project.
I absolutely agree.
So things have changed a lot.
But from the line drawing to AutoCADs to Revit to all these new softwares that have come up, जहाँ एक सिंगल लाइन से हम ड्राइंग्स बनाकर दे देते थे और काम हो जाता था, और अब इतनी मल्टीपल चेंजेस के साथ इतने सारे सॉफ्टवेयर्स के साथ काम करना कितना डिफरेंट लगता है आपको?
I am really lucky feel myself. I started with the pencil drawing. Even my college thesis that was in drawing, but up to 4th year we were drawing pencil drawings.
Okay.
In thesis we were allowed that you must have heard of rapidograph.
Yes.
The rotating inks.
Yes, yes,
Point
yes.
1, point 2, point 3.
Yes.
So we used to make those drawings. That was in 85s, and AutoCAD came into picture something around 95. And we were the few initial that from the Autodesk we did that course. And in 1997 we were having computers starting with the version 12 AutoCAD.
Okay.
That was the first version that came. Then from AutoCAD we were doing. In 2007 we started with Revit also.
Okay.
We did too many projects in the Revits. Right from, I'm not, are you aware of her? There were families in that software. We designed a product. And then we have that parametric families. We just change the numbers, and you can, for example, I have to make a duct.
Yeah.
So I have to give only width and length.
Length.
And if I just change to make a depth of
Yes.
this width and this, it will wait. Then I can give the thickness of the wall also. So I designed a family which has more than 25 variables. Even to that level I worked. We enjoyed a lot, but now these days we are working on AutoCAD only.
Okay. But sir, looking back at those times, you know, there were a few architects around your time जिनका signature style उनकी buildings को देख के पता लगता था. But now, do you think that we have come to a point where the facades have started looking the same? Most of them have the same materials. Most of them have the same elevations and sections. क्या आपको लगता है कि individuality design में कम होती जा रही है क्योंकि या तो लोग experiment नहीं करना चाहते या आर्किटेक्ट्स भी कंफर्टेबल हो चुके हैं कि अगर ये बिक रहा है तो ठीक है?
कहीं ना कहीं तो मुझे थोड़ा अच्छा नहीं लगता. In 1985, prominent architects like Rajewal, Satish Goel, Doshi Ballantyne, Kanwendyan Rai, just by looking at the building you can make out who the architect is. Now these days you look at the building, the person who is having 40 years experience and the person who has the 4 months experience, they are putting the same jali in their reservation just by downloading from the Pinterest.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
individual recognition of architects is completely lost. I appreciate the technology, information is available, but it is exactly the misuse of that.
Yeah, it's overstimulation and no execution. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Though I am relatively much younger, but I still feel that जब सब कुछ हर जगह अवेलेबल हो, बट आधी नॉलेज के साथ अवेलेबल हो तो तो सब गलत होता है. आई एब्सोल्युटली एग्री. सर, वन पिवटल प्रोजेक्ट ऑफ योर्स जहाँ आपको कोई लाइफ की कोई लर्निंग वहाँ से मिली हो, या कोई एक ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट जो आपके दिमाग में आज तक है? बहुत सारे किए होंगे आपने.
हाँ, बहुत सारे करे, बट कभी किसी प्रोजेक्ट से बहुत एक खास कंडीशंस होती हैं जिस वजह से प्रोजेक्ट बनता है. दैट वाज ड्यूरिंग कोविड.
ओके.
During COVID, we were alone at home and there was nothing to work. There was one project I designed with the same scale and the pencils on the graph paper. Because I was not having computer at my home, I was not having other softwares, and I insisted one of my client that you are also at home, so let's try to work out that project.
Yeah.
And that project is about to finish.
Okay.
And it took almost 5 years to execute. It is one of the lifetime project for me. It has a very definite elevation. It has a very definite innovation of the building. It has very definite building materials to a level. Most of the time you will understand it is obvious. During execution, building changes are obvious.
Absolutely.
In that building only, I told my client 5 years before, I will change anything, but I will not change even by a millimeter in the elevation.
Okay.
Be careful. And he didn't change. I'll show you the image of that building. It is such a definite geometry, such a fixed proportion of glazing and the brickwork, a very definite geometry of my walls, very definite levels of my buildings. It is really, it gives me immense pleasure to design that building. That was a building which I designed only by myself. No one of my, no staff was involved, no my juniors were involved, and I don't know why I love the most.
So it's more like a passion project
It's
coming
not
to
like-
life.
It's like a passion project.
So अगर
is-
मटेरियल्स की बात करें तो ऐसा कोई ऐसा मटेरियल आपने यूज़ किया जो आपको लगता था, was it from something that you had earlier used, or was it something that you innovated or made something new around it?
I just gave a very good combination of my obvious architecture. I mean, there I didn't, I used glass, but the basic building, with the basic bricks,
Okay.
exposed brickwork,
Amazing.
which was really a passionate for me.
Amazing. So now I want to know about your any best on-site memory. हम सबकी कोई ना कोई एक ऑन-साइट इंसिडेंट होता है जो हमारे दिमाग में हमेशा रह जाता है, और वो हर साल चेंज होता है, बट कुछ होते हैं जो हमेशा दिमाग में कार्व आउट हो जाते हैं. Which one would it be?
I think with every professional, whosoever is working, he has a fixed bandwidth, like the scale of the project, or the type of the project, or the use of the project, etc. something. I also have my fixed thing.
Yes.
Ki, my project has to be minimum of this value. My project has to be this big only, and accordingly I made some decision. In one of that decision is that I would never do any addition or alteration to any building.
Okay.
I always start from the scratch.
Okay.
It's my own system. I don't. I'm not saying that that
There's
is wrong,
anything wrong.
but I don't do any addition. So one of my client, he called me. There is an existing building and you have to work on that building. Are you ready? I said I will not. I am sure it is against my principle. He said, okay, I go by your words, but it is just my request. You make a visit, I will go by your words, and then you again say, ki, I will not, I will demolish the whole structure. I remember that day. After visiting that structure, I said, this is the first time in my life that I am changing my own system and my own strategies. I can retain the structure, I can continue the construction after it. That's just one.
So one on-site visit became the project.
Became the project.
Amazing. This has, I don't think this has ever happened where, you know, you have gone against something that you generally do, and then it actually becomes a good opportunity to create something new.
I mean, हमेशा ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि जो आपने सोच रखा है वही ठीक है.
True.
You again keep on reviewing that.
Yes.
Yeah, your own decisions. So it was just one of
Absolutely.
that example.
Okay, sir, just one thing out of my personal thing that, you know, हम सब designers के कुछ pain points होते हैं. As a new designer, I feel कि we have a very challenging job of continuously telling and validating what we are doing. आपके टाइम पे क्या ऐसा होता था या लोग फुल फेथ रखते थे आपके अंदर कि आप जो बना रहे हो वो ठीक है?
Honestly, whosoever the client I work for, almost everybody has a utmost faith in our decisions. आप जो लगाएंगे, जैसा लगाएंगे, सब मंजूर है. और अगर कभी किसी क्लाइंट ने कोई डिसीजन चेंज भी करा तो लेटर ऑन ही रियलाइज ही डिड ए मिस्टेक. एंड रादर वेरी इंटरेस्टिंगली वी हैव आवर सिस्टम, वी ऑब्जेक्ट वंस, वी ऑब्जेक्ट ट्वाइस, वी ऑब्जेक्ट थ्राइस, and fourth time we say no, you go ahead, whatever you want
Do
to say.
what you want to do.
In one of the case, we objected once, twice and thrice. Fourth case we said you go, and then whatever was executed, the client he himself said, "Ki no, I made a mistake. Why didn't you say it fourth time also?"
Now this is one piece of advice that I will also take back home कि 3 बारी object करो, चौथी बारी उनको करने दो जो करना है. Interesting. Okay, sir, with the kind of experience you have, I want you to give us one piece of advice to all the newbies, all the people who are pursuing architecture, or all the ones who have already maybe arrived but not as arrived as you. One piece of advice that you want to give them.
Before design, they must understand the construction. It is very easy to design anything. If you know the construction, design will come out fantastic.
Yes.
But if you don't know how it is to be executed, you might have not that good solution what you are expecting for. So visit the sites, see the mason working, see the painters working, see the POP person working, see the flooring person working. Then if you know how the stone is laid, you can make always better design without knowing how the stone is laid.
Can you give me any of the examples, anything where you know you feel that because your on-site experience was so high that the other person who did something wrong at the site could not stand in front of you because of the kind of experience you had?
Just day before yesterday only.
Oh, interesting. I want to know.
I mean, a door frame was fixed and the carpenter was doing the paneling on that wall. At the bottom level, both were aligned, but at the top level, there was at least 10 mm error. And the paneling carpenter said that the previous contractor, whosoever has executed the door frame is wrong and my paneling is correct.
Yeah.
And that contractor was not there at site also. So it was very easy to blame someone who is not in the meeting.
Absolutely.
But before saying that the door frame is wrong, right or wrongly executed, I say, please get me a plumb. And after getting the plumb, I myself put the plumb from the top to bottom and I rechecked the paneling level, and the paneling was not in plumb while the door frame was in plumb. And this is the experience.
So this is where the experience comes in, and this is what on-site experience comes in.
And he was not expecting that I know how to put the plumb.
So these are the ground realities we guys need to wrap our brains around.
Sooth, gunia, plumb are basic 3 tools to see the perfection of any construction. If you know how to use these 2 tools, you can do wonders. But this generation, they don't work with these issues.
I absolutely
उनको
agree.
सूद का मतलब ही नहीं पता.
So let's circle back to what is the core philosophy of the right executions at site.
I think the most important thing that how the information is given to the contractor for execution. For this, I'll just take one thing. My working drawing has to be very, very perfect. Even, for example, for anything, let it be a main gate detail. Right from the frame, hinge, the tube size, welding size, how the opening is. If you are given everything in your drawing, only then the contractor can execute the right way. So let it be framing or the partition or the false ceiling or anything. The most important is the working drawing issued from the architect.
So you feel that it should have all the material details, all the finishes, all the joinery,
Absolutely,
everything.
complete, everything. Fixing detail, material details, joinery details, everything.
But how do you actually learn it over time? Because when every time you're innovating, there is something new happening. So then how do you make a drawing which is first hand, anticipated that it will work? So I think a lot of times we have realized that, when we innovate and create something new, तब हमारी drawings जो है उसमें कुछ चीज़ें जो open ended रह जाती हैं. That
Then
we decipher
honestly,
at that
let
point
me
of
tell
time.
you, I always take the consent of my contractors also. Before issuing the drawing, if it is a difficult carpentry detail, I call my carpenters. If it is a difficult fabrication detail, I call my fabricator. This is something I have designed. Do you think is it executable or should I revise? Not more than 2-3% I have to change my drawing based on their experience, but my theoretical knowledge and their practical experiences, they've come out with the beautiful solutions always.
So I think the new generation would also agree that we guys do not have that much of on-ground experience. But do you feel that on-ground experience is the game changer in our industry?
Very true. All new architects, they must visit the site and they must see how the things are being executed, how foundation is excavated, how the column is erected, how the roof slab is being cast, how the plaster is done, what are the ingredients in the plaster. Is it only the cement, water and sand? Now these days we have the plasticizers and other so many things. How the false ceiling does, what is the L support, what is the main, what is the cross, what is the jali and everything. If you know all these things, you can make the right false ceiling drawing. Otherwise you are going to make some mistakes in that.
And those mistakes could be blunders also. So
A very common mistake. Whenever we make a false ceiling drawing and we give the palmets,
Yes.
we forget to put the ply above the curtain. And when the curtain contractors come into the picture,
They say
he
that there's
says
a
कि
ply
सर
missing.
ply तो है ही नहीं, ये
Yes.
तो लगा ही नहीं आपने. अब फिर दोबारा ply लगाइए और दोबारा लगेगा. In our working drawing, it's always mentioned 19 mm thick ply for the curtain rod. It's just experiences.
Absolutely. I think you work your drawings around what you have learned from your previous mistakes.
A very interesting thing, let me tell you. I have made at least 500-point checklist.
Amazing.
And I always give to my clients before starting the project. And that checklist for all different things, for carpenter, for execution, for painter, for the plumber, for everything. And I say, please give me, please show me error which is other than this 500 points. And that point I will add
Will add to the list.
Will add to the list, and that list I have completed in the 40 years of experience. I have that list actually.
So that is the crack code of your experience. I'm sure anybody would want to have a look at that list, just maybe to incorporate it in their own working style.
And it is all our not the failures, but something
But learnings.
For the simple example, in your false ceiling you have the linear strip light, where you will put the transformer, so that after 5 years, if that LED is not working, the new technician will come. Where will he locate?
Small little details, but
Small
so
little
integral.
detail.
Yes.
I have made it a fixed point that in every room the position of the driver is here.
So it's always mentioned in your drawings.
It always mentioned in the drawing, and that also I made my general.
It's the general standard
It's
of
a
working
general
with
standard.
people who are working.
So any vendor can come and repair that light with my drawing without any problems.
So you've put SOPs in place where people, even after 10 years, 5 years, would know exactly where the things are and they'll be able to rectify
These
them.
days, once so much of the technologies come into play, the maintenance becomes a major
Very,
part.
absolutely agree.
The previous buildings 50 years down the line, they were almost zero maintenance. Just whitewash.
Yep.
One maintenance there. Now these days you have lift AMC, we have curtain AMC, you have flooring AMC, you have generator AMCs, you have CP fitting AMC, cleaning of CP fitting, cleaning of cisterns AMC.
Yes, absolutely.
So many
A long list of AMCs is what we guys all live with. So, sir, now we will dive into the concepts of water innovation. The latest water innovation which you feel is a game changer and has led to development in a very different way. What do you think works?
Previously, we used to have just a tap and a shower. After 10 years, then we learnt about the mixture. After 10 years, we learnt about the thermostat. In showers, we had only one flow. After that, they came to mist flow. Then you have cascade flow. So many other things they came in. So I feel good in innovation, nothing bad about it. But water consumption is also getting very high. Previously it used to be 10 or 15 liters per minute. Now it is 50 liters per minute.
Yes.
We have the water harvesting these days. We have the solar energy these days. Whenever I design my building, I always see it consume minimum of the carbon content. I always put the DG glass in my buildings. My buildings are the least maintained building, at least that I'm sure.
So you're working towards sustainability in a manner where we don't have to keep redoing things so that we have less carbon emissions, and you're taking them.
Emission and minimal maintenance. The designs are such. I'm not saying I'm not putting glass, but minimal, so that easily can be maintained. Let it be the flooring or other rebuilding materials with the least maintenance materials. It is just my approach.
So when I look back, obviously you're almost around the same, your career experience is almost around how old I am. And when I look back, I remember those colored WCs and colored basins, and then it all went to white. Now it has changed again. What is your take on it?
The first tile I have seen in my life was the 4 inches by 4 inches white tile.
Oh.
And then it came from 4 to 4.8, then 8 by 12, then 12 by 18, then and so on and so on. And now the size we are getting 800 by 2400.
Yes.
Okay. And rather 1200 by 2400.
By 1200, yes.
Okay.
4 by,
and
4 by
even
8.
by 3 meter also, sorry.
Yes,
10,
so
the
10 by
largest size
4s.
available is the 1200 by 3 meters. This is the largest size available.
Yes.
So I appreciate, and I am getting minimal joints, the better things. It is good also, nothing wrong in it. We are getting so many colors, so many textures. So innovations are good as long as it is easy to maintain, and sometimes tiles in elevation they fall also, and they are really prone to accident. I have seen those accidents also. So the architects are really responsible for the perfect execution. The tile should not fall. So it is our responsibility. We must cross check our construction details.
But do you think, as an architect, washrooms and wet areas are the trickiest one?
No doubt. At least I don't have the much of the leakage problem, but in most of the houses we see, the most common problem is the dampness.
Absolutely.
And then the reason behind it is just the execution, nothing else. So again it comes to the perfect construction execution.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking our time, and it was an absolute privilege to have you and an honor to have you here and share all your experiences that you have learned the hard way with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, as a token of gratitude, we have something that we would like to offer you.